Fortune 500 companies and governments are pursuing carbon credits and offsets. Carbon credits are creating a market of their own. These preservation programs can bring indigenous people from different parts of the world into the digital economy. You are now tuned in to ShookFocuz. And it is time.
It's time to shake the focus up. Sick of being sick and tired, tell me if you had enough. Yeah, it's Shooks in the building now. We ain't missing nothing. We gon' catch you if they gotta run.
What is good, y'all? What is good? Thanks for tuning in and welcome back to another episode. And in this one, we finna be talking about these carbon credits. That's right, we've been drumming up this conversation for a long time, and now we just can't avoid it no more. It's time to dive into this thing because we got firms, including Amazon, to buy $180 million in carbon credits from namesake Rainforest. Before we get too far into this thing, credit for this article was brought to us by Reuters, written by Jake Spring. The imagery in this video is intended to aid in an understanding but does not represent exact locations of any purchases that we may talk about. And now that that's out of the way, Amazon and these other companies have agreed to buy carbon offset credits that will support the conservation of its namesake rainforest in the Brazilian state of Pará in a deal valued at around $180 million. This is Leaf's first deal in the Amazon rainforest. Now, in case you don't know, Leaf stands for Lowering Emissions by Accelerating Forest Finance. The proceeds are to be allocated to indigenous and local communities. And we'll get into who makes up the Leaf Coalition a little bit later. But we have Amazon, Bayer, BCG, Capgemini, H&M, and Walmart to buy 5 million credits at $15 each. Now, this is actually higher than some of the recent averages, but for those of us who've been watching these carbon credits, we know that there are plenty that cost more than 15 bucks. Each credit represents a reduction of 1 metric ton of carbon emissions from reducing deforestation in Pará State in the years 2023 to 2026. Following this deal, another 7 million credits will be made available for other companies to purchase. The US, UK, and Norwegian governments have guaranteed a portion of those credits and will buy them if companies do not. The firms listed will make the purchases through the Leaf Coalition Forest Conservation Initiative. This was founded in 2021 with a group of companies and governments including the United States and the United Kingdom. The agreement was announced Tuesday during New York Climate Week, where about 900 events was going on alongside the UN General Assembly. Amazon also confirmed this purchase in a separate statement, emphasizing the importance of tropical forest preservation in addressing climate change. The governor of Pará stated that the state is only planning to collect a portion of the sales while the rest gets sent to the indigenous peoples, former slaves, and traditional extractivist communities and family farms. Governor Balbajo also said that the government will have complete traceability of supply chains for cattle by 2026. Whoa. And just a side note here, while it seems like the global demand for carbon credits has kind of stalled a little bit, Microsoft, Meta, and Google have all made purchases of these offsets in Brazil this year. The Amazon is the world's largest rainforest. This makes it a vital piece of the climate change initiative. All right, Focus Army, we're going to go ahead and pause right here for a quick channel update. First and foremost, I want to thank you so much for tuning in and absolutely smashing that like button for your boy. I greatly appreciate all the love and support. Don't forget to hit the share button on your way out. Going forward, we want to grow this army as big as we can. With all these changes coming at us, we want as many eyes, ears, and researchers on the stuff as possible, because in the end, it just helps us all win. The second part is that the Telegram is up and running. You can find a link to that in the description below. Telegram recently had a lot of news come out about what they're going to be doing with data, and essentially the results make them no different than any other social platform that's out there. That whole super private piece of it is gone. I'm actually tabling the decision again about whether or not to keep this Telegram or just go back to Patreon. There are some big pluses and minuses for both. If you have strong opinions either way, feel free to leave it in the comment section below. I will also be tabling another poll for this, but this time through I'll be eliminating Discord from the list. These platforms are putting a squeeze on content creators everywhere. If you haven't noticed the increased ad runs on YouTube, you will soon enough. So let that be a reminder to support your favorite content creator. And with that being said, let's get back to the video. So if you guessed that we was finna talk about Dovu, then you guessed correctly, because here we go. So we're over here on the Dovu market project page, and this time we won't be talking about the end of life sustainable vehicle credits program. This time around, we gonna be talking about these biodiversity credits, because given the context from the beginning of the video there, we now have a little bit more of an understanding of what's going on here. Remember, before it was like, it sounds important, I don't know, because the language kind of threw me off, but this is all sustainability. All of this is tied right in together. All of this goes right together. This is now, again, Dovu was not mentioned anywhere in that article that we just read. Don't get it confused. It was not mentioned anywhere in that article. But we're going to get to see by the end of this here just how close we are to the noise that's being made there. I want to take one quick stop here and point out undo. When we talk about who are undo, man, I got to get one of these undo credits. This bad boy keep creeping up. I got to get one of these. Anyway, these undo credits, when they start talking about who are undo, one thing that we see here is UK, US, and Australia based operations. From our article earlier, we know that the UK and US are involved in this carbon credit production deal that's going on in Brazil. So yeah, we got the same players here. Now getting back over here to these projects, we got these two Savimbo biodiversity credits. And now we understand that, again, it's just the sustainability conversation again. It's the same conversation. It's just in a different format. So Savimbo here, we're going to actually take a look at a little bit of what Savimbo's got going on. But Savimbo is a company created by and for indigenous small farmers in the Colombian Amazon. So again, we got the Amazon here. It's just the Colombia side of it. We're still talking about the Amazon. We're still talking about indigenous small farmers, right? Indigenous peoples and communities. It's the same conversation. And man, it's crazy how close it is here. And on the other one, we also have that same conversation, the indigenous small farmers in the Colombian Amazon. There is a difference between these two credits. I believe one of them is One of them is not certifying because of an issue with land rights for the indigenous people. So I believe this one here is more intended to assist the indigenous peoples with the way that it's set up. All right, but both are biodiversity credits. And one more thing I wanted to point out before we move on from this section is what's mentioned under credit stock, which I assume is referring to where these credits are generated. But it mentions a collective of over 250 indigenous small farmers in 4 indigenous groups in the tropical Andean biodiversity hotspot. Tropical Andean biodiversity hotspot. That's super important to me because for me, that refers to the Andes Mountains. And the Andes Mountains run right in South America from Venezuela, Colombia, Ecuador, Peru, Bolivia on down. And what we're about to find out next is that Savimbo, who is hosting some of these biodiversity hotspots and generating these carbon credits that are being sold on Dovu, was founded by natives of Colombia, which happens to be just on the other side of the rainforest from where Amazon and all those other players are purchasing their carbon credits. There really ain't much else to say here, but so just a quick look at Savimbo here. We can see their website, fair trade for water credits, carbon credits, biodiversity credits. We're a social enterprise created by and for indigenous peoples and local communities to access climate markets directly. We stop deforestation by paying the right people, then sell 6 climate products. So you can see these here: biodiversity, carbon, trees, water, ecotourism, agrobiodiversity. And you can actually click on these and buy. So like you click on this tree here, you can plant trees. So you can actually pay $5 to plant a tree. They got other stuff here. So these carbon credits, fair trade carbon credits. So you can, again, you can buy them directly from here. You can get a package. So that's what Savimbo has going on their website. You can look at technology, right? Technology is only valuable to the extent it allows us to live meaningful lives. Technology is a tool. And so you can see what they're doing over in these other areas, drone scans, all this kind of stuff to help monitor. You can also come here and see about the team, the contributors. So one thing that I thought was interesting is Garmin is listed as a partner here. Oh my gosh, y'all, this is huge. This is huge. This is huge. This carbon credit market is about to go crazy. At some point, wasn't it the governor? The governor said that he would have all cattle traceable, trackable, and traceable by 2026. So before we get out of here, we're going to take a quick look over here at Dovu Twitter. And we can see here they got a pinned tweet 19 hours ago. Excited to be involved in this event hosted by Material Recycling Association of India and have our CEO Irfan Watkins presenting an overview of the global VCM market. Okay, so he's going here to talk about the The vehicle recycling program, fantastic. This dude is one of the most active founders in the crypto space, man. I just gotta say it, dude. He stays busy, always on the go, always doing something. We got Hedera here talking about the Climate Week at New York City. Come on now. Climate Week at New York City, we was just talking about in the article. That's where the news about the deal with Amazon and these other companies was announced, at Climate Week New York City. This is where we at, man. This is where we at, bro. Check this out. This project will be offset by Dovu. Okay, so Amplify World, they got another project that's gonna be doing offset. Maybe that'll be worth checking out in the future. What is this? Looks like a little statement from Time. Wide range of governments from the US, UK, and Singapore to Kenya have recognized the importance of the voluntary carbon markets. Again, same old song. We've been talking about this already. This is the one here from Time. It's time to scale a credible high-impact carbon market. So, doing all the right things here. Here we got Dovu talking about protecting indigenous land rights in a Brazilian Amazon could reduce deforestation rates by an estimated 66%. This is the same conversation, y'all. We got the call out from Savimbo. But I think everybody gets the picture on this one, so we're gonna go ahead and end this thing with a question. Do you think Amazon, Bayer, BCG, Capgemini, H&M, and Walmart would buy 5 million credits at $15 each if they thought the price of these carbon credits would be going down? You know what my answer is.
No. No. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No. 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 No.
And until next time, don't get shook. Stay focused. And I'm out.